Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man gunned down after leaving wake in Westmoreland. A man was shot dead while returning home from a week with his girlfriend in Betterton, Westmoreland on Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as Michael Hilton, a 46-year-old technician from the community. Reports from the Westmoreland police are that Hilton and his girlfriend were walking home shortly after 1 a.m. when they were confronted by a lone gunman who opened gunfire at Hilton, hitting him several times in his chest and upper body. Hilton's girlfriend ran and managed to escape unhurt. The gunman then escaped on foot in the area. The deceased was transported by residents to the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James, where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. 24-year-old charged with illegal possession of firearm. A 24-year-old man has been charged with breaches of the Firearm Act after an illegal gun was found in his possession over the weekend. Charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition is required by Grave of South Plum Lane, Kingston 11. According to the Olympic Gardens Police, lawmen were patrolling the Olympic Gardens community about 10 a.m. on Sunday, December 4, when Grave was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. He was accosted, searched, and one 9mm pistol containing 10 9mm cartridges was removed from his waistband. Grave was subsequently taken into custody, where charges were laid against him. His court date is being finalized. Not fair. I be most shaken by her head, and the weary laugh heavily tilt with resignation and disappointment were Natasha Roach's first reaction when asked how she felt about her son's killer being given a sentence for 4 years and 10 months. I believe him should have get more sentence, but there's nothing I can do. That's what they say, she told reporters outside the Montego Bay courthouse on Monday. She had traveled from D-side in nearby Trelawney to see justice be meted out to the 17-year-old who killed her child Kamal Hall. Her son was 16 years old when he died. On Monday, Rhodes struggled to accept what she thought was an unfair end to her family's hurling ordeal. It was very disappointing, she said. We take a life and then get 4 years, 10 months? No, sir, no fear, but there's nothing we can do. The boy's paternal aunt, Alison Hall, was just as bemused by the sentence. Just 23-year-old, and him dey back out here, she said at the age of the convicted teen could be released from jail. Meanwhile, Kamal dead under the ground, she lamented. My brother keep being in and out of hospital because of this. It hasn't been easy, but God is the ultimate judge of everything. In handing down her ruling, High Court Justice Andrea Thomas said among the factors she had taken into consideration were the age of the accused, his guilty plea, as well as the findings of psychologists. The boy's name is being withheld as he is a minor. I've done as I'm required to ensure there is an adequate balance and adequate mix, that the sentence I arrive at is appropriate and just. I will also in this sentencing apply the aggravating and mitigating circumstances, Justice Thomas said to the teenager as he stood before her to hear his fate. Despite defense attorney Marissa Dalrymple-Filbert's impassionate plea for a non-custodial sentence, Justice Thomas made it clear that the nature of the crime could not allow for that, and it would cause public outrage. It was her responsibility, she said, to ensure some amount of deterrence is attached to her ruling. The young man remained expressionless throughout the proceeding, but at times, a quick word with his attorney. The slain Hall has been the goalkeeper for William Nibby Memorial High School football team that competed in last season's Augusta Cup competition. Team coach Dwight Jeremiah was among those surprised by the brevity of the sentence handed down on Monday. It is good to know that the justice system has sentenced him, he said. I suspect a lot of persons in the fraternity are going to feel that 4 years and 10 months is quite small for such a crime where somebody has lost their life. It would be hard to accept, especially for those who knew Hall, he said. It's quite minimal for a murder unless they categorize it under some other type of murder worthy for 4 years. Whatever they categorize it as, for us who were close to him, it certainly does not seem enough at all, he said. Kamal Hall was stabbed to death on March 22nd during a dispute that was alleged over a guard ring. The ring reportedly belonged to a friend of the boy who wielded the knife. The murder sent shockwaves throughout the country as it shone the spotlight on an increasing popular reliance on items of jewelry that are seen as poor protection for wearers. Guard rings, candles, oils, and other items are sometimes seized during police raids that clamp down on individuals and gangs suspected of being involved in lottery scamming. Justice Minister urges students to resolve conflicts peacefully. Students are being encouraged to make use of alternative dispute resolution methods to resolve conflicts peacefully. According to a release on Monday, the charge was given by Minister of Justice Delroy Chalk during the final stop in the ministry's Alternative Justice Services school store at St. James High School in Montego Bay recently. If people are not able to deal with one another fairly, to listen to one another, and to tolerate other person's views, and deal with each other in a fair way, then you're always going to be fighting, he stated. That is why it is important that you find ways and means to be able when you have problems to solve them. The Ministry of Justice has many appropriate means for you to settle any dispute and challenges that you have with one another, he noted. The Alternative Justice Services School Tour aims to educate students across the island about the Ministry's alternative justice services. In the meantime, the Minister encouraged students to report issues they may be having with each other to their guidance counselors and teachers so that both sides can be heard, and at the end of the day, you can settle the dispute without having to fight. Young people exposed to non-traditional careers during Heart and STA Thrust Youth Festival. Students from across the island benefit from a day of career talk at the Heart and STA Thrust Youth Festival held recently at the Jamaica Conference Center, downtown Kingston. The event included informative presentation of non-traditional career paths such as digital marketing, the creative industry, including dance and social media influence. Digital marketer and owner of Digital Jamaica, Kaden Francis, encouraged young people to use the internet to their advantage. If you want to be seen by the right people, create opportunities for yourself, or put yourself in a better position to attract opportunities, then the internet is a really good place to do so, she noted. Senior Programs Director of Apprenticeship and Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises at the Heart and STA Thrust, Marlon Johnson, urged the youngsters to make art their institution of choice. He noted that acquiring a skill is financially feasible. Johnson encouraged students to become comfortable with learning, unlearning and relearning so that they are not left behind in the information age where illiteracy will be measured by those who fail to use the information they are given to their benefit. Speaking on behalf of the Minister of Education and Youth, Favor Williams, Assistant Chief Education Officer in the Curriculum Development Unit, Satva Bennett, lauded the Heart and STA Thrust for serving Jamaica for 40 years and bringing together a wide cross-section of young people who represent the future of the country. He said the festival was an important one as it amplified the value that the country places on the youth. We at the ministry commit to continue to serve our young people in Jamaica because it is through this process of education and training that the development of Jamaica as a country rests, he added. Bennett noted that with YouTube becoming the new workspace for many, the world has evolved into a global service sector where it is no longer required for a person to travel to engage or use one's vocation or skills. Students were also given pointers on how to create and maintain wealth by financial journalist Kalila Reynolds, How to Keep in Good Health by Dr. Joy Williams, and the ups and downs of becoming a social media influencer by Karen Weathers, Kathiana T.C. Campman, as well as their manager, Cassandra Henry. Dancer, actress, and teacher Shelley McCollum, Shelley Express, gave a brief explanation and demonstration of the different eras of Jamaica's dance and music. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.